Australia has already seen a record number of refugees pour across our borders in boats this year. The vast majority come from Sri Lanka, a country once racked by civil war, now at peace. David Richardson travelled to the villages to speak to the would-be refugees to discover why they keep coming.
The two faces of Sri Lanka, the idyllic oceanfront villages, those villages now becoming the launching pads for wave after wave of fishing boats carrying illegal human cargo to Australia. This is the Navy at work, but it's not our Navy, it's Sri Lanka's. The Indian Ocean country is our frontline defence against boat people. Stopping the exodus to our shores starts here, 9,000 kilometres from West Australia.
The Sri Lanka Navy has arrested about 63 boats during the last year alone, and that included about 3,200 would-be illegal immigrants.
Dozens of fast patrol boats scour the 2,000 kilometre Sri Lankan coastline. There are literally hundreds of isolated villages, canals, hideouts used by people smugglers to launch their boats for Australia. This is Udapur, a fishing village about 3 hours' drive north of Colombo, the Sri Lankan capital. It's Tamil country, but it's also a people smuggling hotspot. The population around here used to be about 5,000. Not anymore. 1 in 5, 1,000 people have paid people smugglers, jumped on a fishing boat and headed to Australia.
He has sold his land and gave money to the smugglers. Now he has no land no place to stay.
This man is a typical villager who tried his luck on a refugee boat. He sold everything for a life in Australia, a cruel hoax sold by people smugglers.
It's better to commit suicide of going to Australia. That's very foolish decision.
A foolish decision made by thousands of Sri Lankan boat people in the past 12 months, and almost 1,000 this year alone caught trying to get into Australia. What percentage of the boats are you catching?
We are getting about 50% arrested within the Sri Lankan waters. About 50% are somehow reaching the Australian territories.
Commander of the Sri Lankan Navy and Intelligence, Vice Admiral Jayanath Columbagai, has the job of stopping the boats.
They see the people who had undertaken this journey earlier, now they are doing well in Australia. They are earning money, they are sending money here. I mean, earlier their kith and kin, their relatives could come and join them and they could work there. So they see this is as just a difficult journey, but kind of worth taking it.
And that starts here. We're hunting people smugglers in the Western Naval Zone, 10 kilometres off the west coast of Sri Lanka. It's a known smuggling hotspot. Navy patrol crews check to see how low the fishing boats are sitting in the water to determine if they could be carrying people to Australia. 10,000 fishing trawlers just like this one put out to sea every day. Any one of them could be carrying human cargo, but it's almost impossible for the Navy to check every one, and the people smugglers know it. It's almost a daily event. Boats intercepted by Navy patrols, their human cargo offloaded, the fishing captains charged. But they're the lucky ones. The month-long trip across the Indian Ocean can be deadly.
It's a nightmare, and we have heard or we came to know that many people fall sick during the long journey and they even vomit blood and they need medical care, but some people actually die on the way.
Despite those risks, even detention and deportation from Australia, some refugees are determined to give it another go.
Now he has not given up his idea. He always trying to go to Australia again.
So you're going to try again on a boat?
Yeah, he's trying again. This time he is not trying to go by boat. This time he wants to go by plane.
Sadit and his fellow villager Ranga pawned everything they owned to get to Australia, sold the big lie by people smugglers, told they were welcome here. What did the people smuggler tell you could do in Australia?
The Australian government has asked some people to do their jobs in Australia. They have vacancies there, and you can go Australia, they have said to the people.
It's my mommy.
Instead of the dream job in a new country, Ranga got a one-way ticket home. So the whole thing was a waste of time.
It's a waste of time and money. Everything he has lost now. He doesn't encourage anybody to go to Australia again.
The villagers are also coached on how to con our immigration officials when they get caught, to lie about persecution.
Smugglers. Smugglers and the people who went with him advised him to say lie. You can't live in Sri Lanka, therefore keep him in Australia.
But you're not a political refugee. Your life was not in danger.
Well, Deshabalna, he's not a political problem, but he's a fortune hunter.
They're certainly not political refugees because there is nothing to run away from. Now, that part of it is propaganda.
External Affairs Minister Professor G.L. Peiris is trying to smash that image that Sri Lanka is a dangerous country which forces people onto boats.
We would challenge anybody to come up with one concrete instance of harassment which compels people to leave our shores. That is not the case at all.
So you're not torturing people?
Absolutely not, we are not. And we would challenge anyone to come forward with evidence to the contrary.
For 25 years, this country was a dangerous place. Sri Lanka rang to the sound of civil war as the Tamil Tigers, or LTTE, fought for independence. Now the only blasts occur during religious festivals like this, homemade firecrackers, not bombs. But the LTTE is still the chief suspect in the people smuggling rackets.
They have the expertise, the LTTE, they have the front officers, they have the organizations, and they benefit from this situation. So we can deduce that most probably the LTTE is behind this whole operation.
They're coming from everywhere.
Yes, they come from even this area, even Mana.
Refugee advocate and immigration lawyer Lakshan Dias blames Australia's topsy-turvy policy of paying refugees to go back for the deluge of boats.
If you go to Australia, they give you 3,500 Australian dollars and a mobile phone and so. Oh, that's a good thing to try. That's a profit of 150,000 rupees. Why should not be a try? So this is why I'm saying Australian government has taken a wrong step. It's a wrong way of handling the refugees. It's kind of bribing by the Australian government. It's simply bribing.
Sri Lanka is now concentrating on finding the elusive people smugglers themselves. Offshore processing and tougher restrictions have done little to stop the flow of the boats. Stopping the exodus to Australia isn't easy.
So we must endeavour to stop it completely, and I hope that when the situation improves further, that we should be able to stop it completely.
David Richardson with that.